Hey, it's Michael Wolf-Grafstein, otherwise known as Matrix Mike. And today, what I want to talk to you about and give some thought to is sport performance and confidence. One of the biggest things I see, and I may have already talked about this before, is like what is actual confidence? And I think one of the things, myself included, and I used to coach hockey, and with coaches, with parents and players, is that part of being confident is making mistakes. That's right, making mistakes. And if you're a coach or a parent, in what you do, have you made a mistake? I know I have when I treat, when I work with clients. Do I make a mistake? And at the same time, what I do understand is what can I learn from that mistake so that I don't do the same thing again? Or how can I improve what I did so that I get a better result? One of the things that, and I'll be quite honest, that's a pet peeve, is when somebody says, I want you to be more confident. Well, if you're going to ask for somebody or a player, a youth player, an athlete to be more confident, get a little bit more detailed. Explain to them what you mean by being more confident and or show them. So if I look to sports and I look for confidence in a player, I'm going to use a hockey example. And I'm also going to use a soccer example, two sports that I'm very familiar with. So if I look at hockey and I think of confident, I think of somebody like a Sidney Crosby. He goes out, he does his business, and he's quiet about it. But you have to understand that he's made mistakes along the way. He's focused on the process, and he just takes his game to the next level, to the next level. Lionel Messi, no different. He is the same, but he goes about his business. He makes a mistake. What does he do? He looks to correct it. He looks to be better. And this is what top level athletes do. Mistakes are something that happen. And the only way you can grow and learn as an athlete, or even for that matter as a person, is to make mistakes and learn from them. Now, one of the things that I see sometimes is a lot of people think that a loud voice is confidence. There are a few exceptions, and I'll go back to hockey, and I know I'm going to be dating myself. Somebody like a Mark Messier, who was captain of the Edmonton Oilers. The thing that separated him, he had a big voice, but he would go out and he would back up what he said because he had the confidence to do so. Other confident athletes just go out, they do what they need to do, and they take chances, they make mistakes, and they learn from them. So if you're a parent or a coach, I really truly hope that you understand with your athlete, your child, allow them to go out, make mistakes, allow them to learn from the mistakes. And the world's not going to end, so to speak. It is so important. In particular, when you are working with young athletes, to create an environment of safety. And what that means is allowing them to go out and figure things out for themselves, allowing them to go out, make mistakes, and learn from them. That is so key, because the only way an athlete learns to be better and learns to grow, no different than adults and growth and all that kind of stuff, is to go out and experience something, experience making a mistake, and you almost want to celebrate it, saying, great, you went out, you put an effort in, and now you can learn from this type of a thing. And I think most of the time, and this is what I realize and wish I had known when I was younger, is that there are steps to building your confidence, right? You go out, you try something, you think it's really easy, and then boom, you mess up miserably. I am no different. Then you realize you need help. And this is where coaching or assistance comes in, however, whatever way you want to look at it. Then you start to realize, oh, the more steps that I take, and if I follow the steps and I'm remembering I'm going out and I'm doing it and I'm following the process, the better I get. And it eventually gets to a point where you can almost do it, as one coach said to me, can you do it on demand? And a real test of confidence is not necessarily in practice, but it's in game where you followed the process and you continue with the process into the game, into the environment where there is stress, where there is pressure. Can you still do it on demand? You can make the attempt and see what happens. Maybe you make a mistake. And if you remember, that's a good thing because you can learn from that. So the next time you're in that same situation, you're going to do something maybe that's a little bit different and get a different result. So it's really important to understand overall with confidence that confidence is an end state. In other words, if you haven't done anything before, how can you be really confident? I can read books about surgery and I can say, yeah, I can do surgery. But if I haven't had the practice or the work behind me to get there, that's actually being really stupid, right? Or arrogant. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But remember, you're taking steps, step by step. And sometimes you go up a step, drop a couple of steps, take 3 or 4 more steps, and you go further. So it's really important. And it is an ongoing process because as you get into playing at higher levels, participating at higher levels, the intensity starts to increase. And as the intensity starts to increase, there's going to be more mistakes. And at the same time, there's going to be more learning. So it's really important to understand in order to build confidence, it is okay to make mistakes, to experience that, to know what that feels like, to look back, learn, and move forward. Because there's no such thing as failure, only feedback. I'm Michael Wolf-Grafstein, Matrix Mike. Hope you understand and enjoyed this episode on confidence. If you have any questions, any comments, please feel free to say them below. Bye for now.